What are habits that you have adapted from your so that you didn't have before? Instead of swearing when something goes wrong, I now say oh very good in a really loud sarcastic voice. Such a shame, I loved swearing. She always used to grab at my butt if I was going upstairs in front of her, making me run away. So I started doing it back to her when she was in front of me. Now whenever I go upstairs with someone behind me, I get that gotta run upstairs and protect my butt feeling. Kind of like when you're going up your basement stairs and feel the urge to sprint. Actually cooking at home instead of eating every meal out. Saving money and not just spending everything I have because it's there. And so very many speech patterns. I find myself cooking at home a lot more now too. Although we are not saving that much money, we often spend $15 on a meal. Every time that happens I think, why didn't we just go to Chipotle? Exclamation mark. Apostrophe. The typically cooking at home allows for leftovers by cooking in bulk. $15 over 2 people is $7.50. Add leftovers and that's $3.75 a meal. Sleeping naked. Always slept in boxers and a t-shirt. Now I only sleep with pajamas if there's other people in the room or I'm on a couch or something. My balls have never felt fresher. Naps after work. My apartment is closer to his job, so most days he'll come to my place, take a quick nap, then get up and we'll hang out, make dinner, etc. Sometimes he'll stay the night. Sometimes he goes home. At first, I'd knock out some chores, play a game, watch TV after I got home from work while he took these naps, but they looked so comfortable. One exhausting day I came home, curled up next to him and napped as well. It was such an amazing nap, and I had all this energy in the evening time. Now, a lot of the time I'll come home and curl up next to him on the couch for a short nap. We wake up and talk about our days. It's turned into this awesome, super relaxed bonding time for us. I used to be super lazy, but she is also super lazy, so I had to change because one of us needs to not be so lazy. My wife occasionally snorts when she laughs, so I started snorting to make fun of her. That was a bad move on my part. Closing the lid of the toilet after doing my business. Note, I'm a woman and my boyfriend trained me to do this. He called me a barbarian. I'm a guy and I also always do this. I can tell when other, more barbaric individuals I live with have used the bathroom since I last did. After I pee, I close both lids. Same amount of work for my GF, but she can't complain. I call that winning. I've developed very small things I don't even think she would notice. I've started moving my hands in the same motions she does while explaining something while I'm in deep thought. When trying to jokingly piss her off, she gives me this look like, are you ducking serious right now? That I've adopted involuntarily now as well. When we make each other laugh hysterically or laugh at something that gets us rolling on the floor, I find my laugh starting to sound more like hers too. It's really a great feeling overall to adopt little traits of someone you love that make them who they are and have it somehow transfer to you. It's like copy and pasting things you love from someone you love onto yourself. Brushing my teeth in the shower. My wife did it, so the toothpaste was always in there when I needed it. Eventually I just started brushing mine in the shower too. It is surprisingly efficient. 10/10 would recommend to others. It's really truly great. Need water to rinse? Look up. Need to spit out foam? Anywhere in the shower is acceptable. Need to wipe foam off? You're in a shower already. Best of all, you come out squeaky clean. Inside and outside. Almost orgasmic. Carrot, just don't drink any Oj Simpson afterwards. Everything I say ends with size or sis. FEET equals FEETSIES. DOG equals DOGSIES. I say potty. I was a bad bud marine. Now I want to punch myself whenever I talk in public. But thankfully, I'm there to protect myself from people like me. You're still a bad bud marine. Just more secure in your masculinity. My dad served as a marine in Vietnam, yet you should hear the way he baby talks to my mom's little 8-pound Yorkie. Side note, my dad also happens to look just like the Jeff Dunham puppet, Walter. I used to spread the jelly right on top of the peanut butter. Now I spread each on a separate slice. Her way is better. Also, I now leave the butter dish out, used to refrigerate it. Her family has been leaving it out for generations. And a fake. None of them ever died from rancidity poisoning. I'm a complete neat freak now. Dishes in the sink have to be cleaned, and clean dishes have to be put away before we start cooking. I vacuum everything. Crumbs are my most hated enemy. I'm way cleaner now than I was when my wife got a hold of me. People that come to my house think I'm a clean freak. It's weird because I was messy my whole life. I didn't realize how much of an effect that can have on how you feel. My desk at work is still super messy though. My wife always sets stuff like the TV remote or her cell phone upside down. She doesn't know why she does it. She just does. I apparently started going it with the TV remote because the rubber button's made for better not slipping off the couch arm. Cleaning up small messes throughout the day. I used to let that poop sit around for weeks until my home looked like an episode of Hoarders. Basically a reformed bachelor frog. I was a social butterfly. She was a shut-in. Now we are both shut-ins. I'm happier this way. Though. Electric Zappa. I'm happier this way. What do you guys do all day? I'm just curious. Carrot. It's not like I don't want to turn my sew into a shut-in or anything. Close bracket. When we would go upstairs at bedtime, there would always be a GL Butterf nighttime ice water on my nightstand, along with a photo of something cute our cat had done during the day. I've adapted this good habit and return it by having breakfast ready, coffee brewed, when my S/O comes downstairs in the morning. It's kind of playful and thoughtful that we exchange this way. Not drinking bottled water. My girlfriend has a degree in environmental science and is super conscious about waste/excess. I used to buy cases of bottled water for my apartment, but now I just drink tap water. I've developed a much greater compassion for life. Humans and animals and plants and everything. I've never met someone who has such a capacity for love when it comes to animals. I wish I could bring her a new animal every day because the way her face lights up when she pets a dog or holds a new cat is something you never forget. It is a beautiful thing. And now I find myself squealing every time I walk into a pet store. I've also developed more empathy for other people over the years. I'm not as angry or disconnected from the human condition. I have almost a conscious need to make sure others are okay and well taken care of before myself. I don't get road rage as often. I dunno. I think I'm just a better person because of her. I'm still not a great man and lately I feel as though I have gotten worse, but she inspires me to be the best man I can possibly be. My husband has a permanent limp. After 10 years of walking beside him, I've adjusted my walk so as not to bump into him on every step, and now I have a limp too. I've had people ask me if I'm okay, even when he's not around, because I permanently walk that way now. I never used to make the bed. I never used to refer to everything as a situation. Apostrophe. I never used to use the word unfortunate. I didn't go to the gym nearly as often. I've cut way back on drinking. We light candles every Friday night and talk about one good thing that happened from last week to this week. We light candles every Friday night and talk about one good thing that happened from last week to this week. I like this. My ex gave me my taste of music. Not too many things that were great with that relationship, but I do love the music. The jiggle snort. You know, when you laugh so hard you snort like a pig. Never did it before my so moved in. Haven't been with current so long enough to notice what change, which I'm sure exist, have begun. But ex-fiancé, on the other hand, snooze. I used to be the guy who was awoken by the CD in the alarm player spinning up, and I'd be out of bed by the time it hit the first notes. Now I can't seem to stop hitting this goddamned snooze button. I road rage. Oh god. That woman had a mouth. And she helped me find mine. Now that I don't drive, moved into the city, I sidewalk rage. It's like road rage. Except instead of screaming insanely and giving everyone the finger, you mutter under your breath and make promises about how you're going to break this ducking woman's ankles if she slows down anymore. I still sleep only on my side of the bed, even though it has been years since she left. I now automatically assume the person I'm with has stronger opinions about small decisions. like what to do for dinner. I flinch whenever someone close to me gestures quickly. When taking off her shoes by the door, she used to put them between my shoes and I keep finding out as I'm putting my shoes on in the morning that I had left her room to do so. Okay, actually I think I'm going to stop there. Speaking on behalf of my wife here, farting and burping audibly. She never did either before we met. Now she lets em rip. I'm so proud of her. She got me really invested in RuPaul's Drag Race. I inadvertently say okay like Laganja Estranja now. I'm a big fan of drag in general too. She also introduced me to one of my favorite movies, Hedwig and the Angry Inch, although I'm still not that into Rocky Horror. I never used to meow randomly or work meowing into a normal conversation. I never baby talked to any pets before. I never let the cat get away with much until her. I'm picking up all of her weird cat person habits and I don't think I like it. You randomly meow in conversations with humans? I'm a huge cat lover and I definitely talk/meow to my cat. So I get that part. But I don't meow to my friends or family. My fiance used to be fine when she felt a bit hungry. Now she's a terrible cranky person. When she feels a bit hungry, she literally gets angry. PC gaming. I've always played video games, but was always strictly into console gaming. Then I moved in with my boyfriend and I just can't get enough. MMOs are the best thing that ever happened to me. I mean, my boyfriend is the best thing that ever happened to me. Yeah, my boyfriend. Toilet paper goes overhand? I dunno. Whichever is the correct way. Microwave time is cleared if it doesn't reach 0. No brown and black at the same time. Crap. Now I'm a little concerned how many more there are that I'm not consciously aware of. My so has trained me to not stand in front of the microwave while using it. Never wear pants you wore out of the house in/on the bed. And no socks in the bed unless it's cold and they are clean. Edit. I love how everyone thinks my girlfriend is unreasonable when in reality I'm the girl and it's my boyfriend who is anal about these things. He is born and raised in New York, so he's a city boy. Also, the no socks rules because he has a foot fetish. Late to the party, but my fiance is a math major. I now say things like if and only if we get there on time, and for all apples such that any apple is red or green. Turns out that mathematical language is super useful when you want to be as unambiguous as you can. I actually share now. I used to be very stingy with food, money, pretty much everything. When we first started dating, my boyfriend would just put his fork in my plate and try my food without asking, and he would always offer his plates to me. He taught me that it was okay to let up a bit about offering a little bit of something. So now I share everything. She's my ex now, but country music. I grew up in the ghetto, went on to play football at Kentucky, and started dating a Southern belle. You know those secretary white girls. We broke up years ago, and I still listen mainly to hip hop, but every now and then I get a craving for country music. My most recent ex and I dated for 5 years and the habits I picked up from her were eating. This was the best habit I could have picked up. But for her side she started listening to all the metal that I listened to, so I guess that's an even trade-off. One book for one Heaven Shall Burn album even trade. Realizing that I can't keep putting others first all the time. I need to focus on myself instead of satisfying others. Going along with that, not caring about what others think of you. If you're happy, that's all that matters. His hand gestures. My husband's hands are almost constantly moving. And when he talks he gestures a lot. He's got these graceful, long-fingered artist's hands. I'll catch myself doing something with my hands and wonder why, then realize it's one of his mannerisms. Saying the F word. He says it like every other word and it drives me crazy. But after a while I find myself using it as an adjective. My ex is from Kentucky and speaks with a southern accent, and guess who picked it up and can't get rid of it? Me. I'm Mexican and my husband is from Michigan. I've picked up his accent pretty well, and it even surprises native speakers when they hear me, except when I'm mad. Then duck knows why I start sounding British. From him, I've adapted being more spontaneous and using a ice compress for bonus heat in the winter. From me, He's come to appreciate eating home cooked food and making the bed. Stay cool, stay calm, never quit, and find people who use the carrot character out of context and burn them alive. It is wonderful. Probably watching TV and playing video games. I grew up in a household without either of those things. So when I got to college I had zero knowledge of them. After meeting my so, it was like a whirlwind of him catching me up on 18 years worth of television and games. And now, we probably watch more TV and play more games than we should as functional adults. Haha. A habit he picked up from me is healthy eating. Before we met, he subsisted almost entirely on red meat, steak, and rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Close bracket. Early in our relationship, I took him to a farmer's market, and he was freaking out at how many different types of fruits and vegetables there were. Now we are both vegetarians, and all his friends make fun of him. But, hey, he's super healthy and fit. His colon is definitely the better for it. As for mannerisms, I think we've both altered the way we talk a bit. Coming into our relationship, we had very different accents and idioms, but now we share a kind of funny mix between the two. I've since gone back to normal, but I dated a girl for 7 years that was a generally negative person. Everything was too hard. She was too upset. She couldn't and so I couldn't. I became a huge do-nothing defeatist, the earmark of any loser in the world. BTW, until we split, and I snapped out of it. For example, I always wanted to go to college, but she'd say, that costs so much money, and how do you even know you can do it? Plus do you think you're really cut out for, insert professional career? Oh, I'd think, well I guess not. So I didn't try to. We break up, and that same year I apply and get into a great school. Now I'm almost a JD. A bit behind in terms of my age, but I did it. Man, I'm doing it, and she's still a waitress. Take that, bitch. She got me into Gilmore Girls. The writing was surprisingly good. You other heteronormative guys should check it out. The writing is good because they pack about 35 minutes worth of material into 21 minutes. No one in reality is that quick on their feet. Ugh. I blow a raspberry every time someone sneezes and then giggle to myself because I made it sound like they sneeze farted. Exercising. I've never been overweight, but I never really worked out. When I met my now husband, I wanted to be able to do active outdoor things with him. So I decided to start exercising. He exercises 5 days a week. I'm not that good about it, but at least I do it now. Actually working hard at school. It's incredible how much seeing someone else working hard motivates you to do the same. My wife has this nasty nervous habit of picking her lip. Once she gets started she has trouble stopping and will pick it bloody if left to continue. So of course, being the concerned husband that I will remove her hand from her lip. It's gotten to the point that I habitually move my hand toward her hand, even if she goes to scratch an itch or clean her glasses. Edit. I know it's not exactly what was asked, but it's a habit that I adopted because of a habit. Please click subscribe if you enjoyed this video.